Hi, my name's Steven Toppetto, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Costco Wholesale Club. So before I get going, when I lean over to my left or your right, it's just to change the slides. And also, I just want to go over the agenda and what I'm going to cover in my presentation before I get into the bulk of it. So first, I'm going to talk about Costco itself as a company. Next, I'm going to talk about their business model and how they are successful. Next, I'm going to talk about the execution and how they implement it. Then I'm going to talk about the human resources and how it plays a big role in their business strategy. Next, I'm going to talk about how Costco distinguishes itself from its rivals. Then I'm going to talk about the competitive advantage, or if they have a competitive advantage. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the ethical responsibility. So, Costco was founded in 1987, and like I said before, it's a wholesale club. This means that it sells its merchandise in bulk quantities, and these quantities are sold at a very low discount, but it's only to its members, and these members are annual members, so after the year they subscribe again or they buy again. So, what's its mission? Very simply, their mission is to provide its members with the best quality and the lowest possible cost products, and they really hold true to this. So next, their competitors. Their biggest competitors today are Walmart, Target, uh, BJ's, and local supermarkets because Costco has been getting into the produce game. And so, how are they doing today? So today, Costco has over 200,000 employees. They have 90 million, or as of last year, they had 90 million members, and they were the fastest company to go from $0 to $3 billion in sales. So this, and not investment. So it's not just they're getting in money from investors. This is from strictly a sales standpoint, which is a great accomplishment. So business model. It's a very simple business model. They generate high sales, and they look to turn over their inventory as fast as possible, and again at the lowest possible rate. This is very unique to me because this business model relies a lot on basically customer loyalty and trust. And I haven't came across a company that has this type of business model or feels this type of way. So how do they execute this business model? So they can't just go to a store that has a small amount of products. They sell over 4,000, not 400,000, 4,000 items. And these items vary in food, electronics, and etc. And so I understand that I guess after a while, all these products can be seen, so it's nothing new. So they implemented something called the treasure hunt merchandising. So what they do is they have high end, high desired goods, and they'll put some of them in, or put some of them in their stores for a limited time, and then they'll take them out and put others in. So it's making customers want to go back to see if they could find a hidden deal, they could find a hidden item that they maybe couldn't see before. And next, it's Costco services. So at their locations, they've now implemented gas stations, they've implemented food courts, photo centers, pharmacies, printed copy centers. They're basically luring in customers with not only just buying purchases, but it's everyday needs that they could also help with. And this is a great idea to bring in customers. So human resources, as I believe, and I'm gonna tell you, human resources plays a huge role in their business strategy. And I'm gonna show you this from two quotes by their former CEO, James Sinegal. So as the reads, Wall Street grumbles that Costco cares more about its customers and employees than its shareholders. It pays workers an average of $17 an hour and covers 90% of health insurance costs for both full time and part time. Yet, revenues have grown over 70% in the past 5 years, and stock has doubled. So, in class, we talked about shareholder value. So, how companies are supposed to, not supposed to, but companies, for the vast majority, put shareholders and their needs above everyone else in the organization, being customers and other employees. Costco really flips everything on its head by putting customers and employees at the top and shareholders at the bottom. And while this does sound strange, it clearly works out for the shareholders who are now getting more or are now making more money on this because of this way, because of this business strategy. So I think this business strategy should be implemented everywhere. I mean, I sure it does take time, but if implemented correctly, it's a win for everyone. And then the next quote just again hits home the point of how much Costco cares about its employees. So we understand that employees are getting hit the gas pump while working very hard to schedule people from the same part of town so they could drive together. We're testing 10-hour days, something we've never done in the past. We can schedule some employees for 10-hour days, so that's one day they don't have to drive to work, and that's 20% savings in the gas right there. So they're even really thinking about the little things. They're thinking about carpooling, save them one day of driving. This just shows to me that Costco cares, and I think this is just a great business tactic. So how do they distinguish themselves from rivals? I think their biggest one is what I just talked about, how they care about their employees, as I'm going to talk about how maybe their rivals don't. And then, so the next is services. Like I said before, all the services they've now implemented in and around their stores is something that now their rivals are starting to try to do. Like Targets now are trying to have food courts, but they're really just playing the catch-up game to Costco, who started this trend. Next is no advertising. So through my research, I found that besides sending direct emails and coupons to its members, Costco does not do any traditional advertising. So they're not making commercials, they're not doing radio commercials and things like that, because they believe that their word of mouth and their brand is good enough. And in the U.S. last year, 90% of their members renewed. So clearly, they're doing something right. And you can see, you can. This is even more important because basically their whole bottom line is made from their renewals or their annual members, them buying. It's not them selling their products; it's the actual memberships. So the fact that they don't feel that they have to go out and make commercials for this, I think again just shows how strong of a business and how much the customers respect this business. And then, so I said, yeah, the membership, like I said before, and then the customer experience. I think all this together just has an experience for the customer that you really can't find at any of its rivals or honestly many other retailers or stores. So do they have a competitive advantage? So how do they line up against these rivals? So first, I'm going to show you prices versus supermarkets, and then I'm going to talk to you about the revenue versus its competitors. So here we go. We're talking about Costco versus the supermarkets, and I like how the items are everyday items that people need, like milk, fruits, eggs. So it's not just junk food or random items. These are some things that every family will buy. So to the right is shows the one by one, and as you can see, Costco, if you shop there, you'll save about 20% on your purchase. And while yeah, you might think, oh yeah, but you still have to pay the annual. You go grocery shopping, what, twice a week, maybe three times a week. In the end, this is definitely saving the everyday family money. And then next, so how do they line up against Walmart and Target? So as you can see, over the years, it was close. And then towards the end, so towards 2014 and on, Costco really just ran away with almost doubling both of their revenue. So yeah, while Target and especially Walmart also sell items at a very low cost, they're also not smart in their, I guess, in their expenses because clearly the revenue of Costco is just way higher. So, and lastly, I'm going to talk about ethical issues. So I just want to read you the end of their mission statement. It says, "We will conduct our business with the following code of ethics in mind: obey the law, take care of our employees, take care of our members, and respect our vendors." This is something that I guess every company will say they do, but Costco really holds true to this. Like you look at their biggest rival, Walmart. Walmart had a documentary made about them called Walmart: The High Cost of Low Price, about how they are forcing their employees not to work 40 hours. They're forcing them to take pay cuts. They're forcing them to do all these kinds of things. They're hurting family businesses just to try to make money. And this type of business, when it goes out to the media, especially in today's age, where everything could be seen, everything's said to, everything is seen by the public through social media. They get a hint of this. This hurts your brand. This hurts your image so much. So I think the fact that Costco built this up on respecting its customers and respecting its employees is just, it should be the way business is done. And I think businesses will get a hold of this and start to learn from it. Thank you.